Hello, Eagle fans. I'm Ernie Harris, and in this week's episode of Coach's Corner, I'm joined again with Coach Mark Pemberton, head coach of the Rhea County High School Golden Eagle football team. Coach's Corner airs once a week, and you can watch and share the video via our website and also on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. Make sure to like and follow us for new content. Coach's Corner is proudly sponsored by First Bank. Community banking gives you the win. The local team that cheers you on, local bankers who know your name and celebrate you in all life's big wins. To experience the First Bank difference, visit 1525 Market Street in downtown Dayton or call 423-775-1522. First Bank, member FDIC. Well, Coach, welcome back. Welcome to the Beavers. Big win Friday over the Karns High School Beavers. The Eagles now are 9-0. He beat Karns 66-28. Coach, your first impression on that win?
Well, a lot of points obviously on the board on both sides. I'm sure as a fan that was an exciting game to watch. There were a lot of big plays and a lot of long-range plays offensively and in the kicking game. So, obviously we gave up a few more points than we wanted to, but at the same time they had been scoring points, and their running back was really talented, I think, and he proved it to us the other night. Some dumb coach kicked it to him on the kickoff more than once, but it was a good night for us overall.
It was a good night, and he was a dangerous playmaker. Last week in the preview, you had mentioned they give him the ball almost every play. They rushed for, I think, they rushed the ball 23 times. He carried about 18 of those, Coach.
Yeah, and had two long runs. Other than that, I thought we did a really good job against him. We'd hit him for minus yardage, and then all of a sudden he'd go 80. So overall, other than his two runs, I thought we did a good job against them defensively.
Yeah, he had a 94-yard touchdown run and also an 83-yard kickoff return for touchdown. Getting on the board first, you guys jumped out 21-0, and Dalton Hampton. Let's talk about Dalton Hampton, Coach. Your go-to guy, who actually crossed over the 1,000-yard mark this past Friday in the win. He now has 1,028 yards on the season, Coach, with 20 total touchdowns, 17 rushing, and three catches, three reception, TD reception. Coach, words on Dalton?
Well, Dalton's had a great 2 years. These last 2 years, he was our leading rusher last year with 1,200 and something yards and 13 or 14 touchdowns, I think. And I think he's up to ante this year. I mean, I think he's going to end up with more yardage than he had last year, and certainly in the TD category, he's carried us a little more than he did last year.
He's nearing the record in Rhea County High School record books for most TDs in a season, and he's very close to that. That record is actually 22, and he now has 20. Coach, getting on the board, like I mentioned, he jumped out 21-0. Dalton with a 7-yard TD run early in the first, 8:56 to go in the first quarter. You got on the board again with 2:20 to go in the first with another Dalton run with a 4-yard TD run. Next, with 6.9 seconds left in the first quarter, 38-yard pass from Kayla Martin, your quarterback, to Jaden Goodwin. That was the first play of the possession. After you took over, your defense got it done. You took over. He hits Goodwin in the end zone.
Yeah, same play we scored on at Lenoir City, I think, to start the second half. Play action off of our power sweep that the safety had been creeping up on us, so we just threw the post over the top. Caleb made a great throw, and Jaden ran a heck of a route and made a really good catch.
Yeah, he made a move, and the defender was clueless to where the ball was going, and like you said, Goodwin made a great catch. Karns answered with a touchdown 20-yard TD pass next, and early in the second quarter. It was 11:42. That made it 21-7 in favor of you guys. You answered quickly. Thanks to, on the ensuing kickoff, 71-yard kickoff return by Jaden Pankey, Coach.
Yeah, Jaden crossed about the whole field. He probably ran about 120 yards on that return. Made a heck of a run. Had some really good blocking out in front of him. He had one guy to get blocked, and we didn't get him blocked, or he would have scored. But a heck of a return to set up another score by Jaden Pankey. He's done that several times this year.
I agree. He crisscrossed the field a couple times, like you said, and then got tackled at the 2-yard line. He punched it in next with a Dalton Hampton run, 2-yard touchdown run, Coach.
Yeah.
Jaden Pankey, I want to point out, had 131-yard kickoff and punt return yards, Coach. He also later had a 32-yard punt return, setting up another touchdown.
And also had an interception on the night, I
and
think.
a pick,
So,
yeah. Jaden Pankey was your go-to guy on defense.
Had a really good night.
Special teams. Next, after you guys scored, made it 28-7, Caleb Martin went to the air again. Your offense went to the air to Eli Johnson.
Yeah, we spread them out a little bit and tried to get the safety out of the middle of the field, and were able to do that. And Caleb made a good throw down the seam to Eli, and I think he broke 2 or 3 tackles to get in the end zone. I think he was determined on senior night to get in the end zone.
He was. He broke a couple tackles, got in the end zone, made it 35-7 after Cole Ruling hit the 5th extra point of the night. But they weren't finished. 94-yard touchdown run by Bishop. Dangerous.
Probably shouldn't have kicked it to him. We squibbed it after that from then on. But we had one guy get out of position. He saw it and just squirted through. And once he got in the open field, you're in trouble usually against him. And that's not just us. That's anybody.
Right.
So he made a heck of a run, heck of a return.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. Like you mentioned last week, didn't he have back-to-back 300-yard games?
He did. He's had 2 games over the season that was 300 yards rushing each and 6 touchdowns in each game. So he's had some big games this year.
Rhea County didn't score next, and Karns had back-to-back touchdowns, making it 35-21. The halftime score was 35-14, and then third quarter they score. You answered with a 27-yard field goal by Cole Ruling, Mr. Automatic, as you
Mr. Automatic, he had another good night. We tried a field goal a little bit later. It's right at the edge of his range, and I think he's half a yard short maybe, but he had a heck of a kick. He hit it really well. So as his strength improves over time, he's just sophomores, his strength improves, he's going to have some range on him.
I agree. He is a sophomore, and that field goal you mentioned was a 41-yard attempt, which he barely missed. It probably would have cleared at least 39.
Yeah, matter of fact, he had hit 2 45-yarders in practice this week.
Nice.
And but he hit this one solid. It just got under the crossbar, though.
I agree. 38-21 after Ruling's field goal. Next up, you score on a 15-yard TD run by Hampton in the third quarter. 2:45 left in the third, making it 45-21. Karns answered with his 83-yard kickoff return. Bishop, we covered that earlier. You responded late in the third quarter with a 47-yard TD pass. Martin, his 3rd touchdown pass of the night, Coach, on a 2-play scoring drive.
Very similar to how we hit Eli Manning down the middle, or Eli Johnson down the center of the field. We spread them out a little bit and opened up the middle of the field and hit Hampton down the seam for a touchdown. He broke another tackle as well.
Yeah, he made some moves, broke a few tackles. 44-yard touchdown from Martin to Hampton. Still in the third quarter, it was 59-28 after that touchdown, which actually made his the next touchdown was his 6th touchdown of the night, Coach. Hampton scored 6, which is actually a tie for the record at most touchdowns in a game. Cody Bice in either 2014 or 2015 set that record, and Hampton tied it Friday night.
He did, and he was begging me to get 7 on the sideline after he scored that. I told him we've got bigger fish to fry down the road. I wasn't going to take a chance on him getting hurt.
That's funny.
So, yeah, he had a heck of a night.
Next up, Rhea County attempted the 41-yard field goal by Ruling. We mentioned earlier, missed it barely. Last score of the night was Rhea County 27-yard TD run by Nathaniel Ferry, Coach.
And Nathaniel is a senior. He made a heck of a run, a spinning run down the sideline on the left side going in, and happy for him he could get a score on senior night.
It was a very nice run. He gets outside, shakes a couple tackles, does the spin move at the 10, and I mean, there were about 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah, they were surrounding him. Somehow he got through and put it in the end zone.
Great run. And I believe all seniors scored for you.
It was
with
all
the exception of
seniors.
Wheeling.
Yeah. It was all seniors for the touchdowns.
Senior night was celebrated in quite a fashion there. Dalton Hampton finished with 20 carries, 203 yards, 5 touchdowns. Ethan Davis, the freshman running back, had 14 carries for 78 yards. Ferry, 1 carry, 27 yards. Those were your highlights. You had 48 carries for 330 yards rushing, Coach, and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a good night rushing the football for us.
Going to the air, as I mentioned, Martin he was 7 of 8, Coach, for no picks, for 156 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Another good night by a freshman. I think he's had 2 or 3 touchdown games throwing the football, and he's just going to keep developing as time goes on. But 7 of 8 is probably percentage-wise his best night so far.
I agree. He's had a couple of games where he went 9 of 18, 9 of 17 for 150 plus yards. But like you said, percentage-wise, your penalties hurt you a little bit again.
Yeah, we had some more penalties. Self-inflicted, some of them questionable as usual. But got to get that cleaned up. No turnovers, which was a good night. So hopefully we can keep that going.
Your defense coach did it again?
Yeah, I mean,
aside from the big plays.
Yeah, I mean, they gave up big plays. Plus, one of the scores was kickoff return against us. But we knew going in that guy. You had to try to limit his big plays, and he got 3 of them against us. But it's not a bad night for us.
I agree. Your linebacker core, again, got it done for you. Drew Fisher, double-digit tackles, along with fellow linebackers, Austin Brackett, Eli Johnson, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, those guys have been – Austin at one time was leading us in tackles. I don't know where he's at now as far as total, but both those guys have been very consistent on the year and done a good job for us and are getting better every week.
I agree. Anytime you have double-digit tackles for multiple guys having double-digit tackles, you're getting it done on defense. Yeah. We'll be back after this brief message from our sponsor, First Bank.
In the South, we perfect our local art. The art of conversation. The art of connection. The art of service. The art of community. Here, what you thought were lost arts are local arts. We practice the art of relationships. The art of creating wealth from things that are priceless. Because banking isn't just hard work, it's the fine local art of knowing what works. Come experience a great local art. First Bank.
The Eagles hit the road this week for the regular season finale as they take on Marion County High School Warriors. Coach, in 2019, you guys set the school scoring record for most points in the game. You beat them 68-20 here on senior night. Marion County's 5-3 on the season. They have a history of good programs, as you well know. They've been in the state championship a few times in the last 10 years. They lost last week in overtime to Silverdale Academy. What can we look for in Marion this week?
Well, first of all, I told the guys we broke the scoring record this last week. I was incorrect. I forgot about last year's deal. But, Marion County's 5-3. They're a little different now. They run the single wing on offense. So the game, we'll probably be home by 10 o'clock. I mean, the game may go quick. But very disciplined the way they do things. They're obviously going to be in the playoffs, and we got our hands full stopping that single wing because they getting a lot of unbalanced looks and things of that nature. And when they run the ball, they've usually got 3 or 4 guys in front of them pulling up in the hole. So we got to be very physical and very disciplined in defending them.
Do they have any big playmakers, kind of like?
They've got a quarterback, running back, number 7. I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but I'll usually go by numbers anyway. Right. But very dangerous. He's a lot like this kid last week. He's not as big, but if he gets an open field, he can run away from you. So we got to keep him bottled up.
Gotcha. Do they? You said primarily they run the ball.
Yeah, they run the football. Yeah,
Okay.
they're a physical run team.
Do they throw it all?
They do. They throw some. Sometimes they'll get in a spread formation and break their wing T look, but a lot of times it's a double tight, unbalanced look.
Okay, I got you.
During the ball game, though.
Friday night's game against Marion County High School starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. Note that 8 p.m. Eastern. Tickets can be bought at www.eventbrite.com. I want to encourage fans to attend the games, but if you can't attend, like and follow the Herald News Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for score updates. Thank you, Coach, and thank you to our First Bank sponsor for your support of Coach's Corner and our community. If you're looking for a bank that cares about the community, they are located at 1525 Market Street in downtown Dayton, or give them a call at 423-775-1522. Thank you to the Eagle fans for watching. Tune in to our next week Coach's Corner with our special guest. The episode will air later this week. For Coach Mark Pemberton, I'm Ernie Harris, and we'll see you next time. Coach, any closing words?
Going for 10-0 this week, so let's get a good fan base down there and go Eagles.
That's true. Your last 10-0 season, Coach?
That was the second year I was here, I believe.
2014, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, 2014. So we hope to see you Friday night. Thank you.